Yo, welcome back to the Specktators podcast, episode 54. I'm your host, Packy, alongside Q the Bars.
Hey.
Dags.
Yo.
Moe-T.
Mo.
We're live again.
Oh.
The experiment went well. Shout out to everybody that tuned in last week.
Yep.
We got over a K on YouTube in a week. That's good.
That's right. Oh.
Fucking
Okay. AK.
Got a few things to talk about this week, but before we get to it, I haven't seen you guys since last Monday. I don't think.
Yeah, it feels like a month.
How was the weekend?
Is that bullshit? Didn't we watch the game together?
Oh, I did come to your crib. What day was that?
Wasn't that
Thursday?
Wednesday?
Whatever.
Yeah, it was Wednesday.
Yeah, I came over and watched the game we actually got to get into, the Zion shoe fiasco.
God
Dun,
damn it.
dun, dun. How you feel, Dagler? Lifelong
fucking
Duke
pissed.
supporter.
For those that don't know, Dags, big time Duke fan.
Yeah.
Went over to watch the game at his crib, and within 30 seconds, Zion busted through his shoe, and all hell broke loose.
They got shit pooped on. It's a pretty bad game. I have a lot of thoughts on that whole thing and everybody else's take on it.
That's normally the most fun thing to talk about. It's not actually the thing that happened,
right?
But what are we seeing on Twitter and
Yeah.
social media and stuff?
And I think obviously the thing that most people are seeing would be that they think he should sit out for the rest of the season. He's going to be the top pick in the draft no matter what.
Yeah.
And, you know, I get it. Like, I understand that side of the story, but, like, I guess that's just not the person that I am. Like, I'm willing to risk anything for some competition. And obviously I've never been in that space. I've never had the opportunity to make a multi-million-dollar contract in the following year. But that's just me. So I don't really blame him either way, I guess, but I'd like to see him keep playing. I think he could learn a lot for the rest of the season from Coach K, who coaches all the professionals all the time. And I just think he could learn, get better. Why not? He sprained his knee. He didn't tear his ACL. He didn't fucking break his leg. He grade 1 sprain. Like, I could do that slipping on the fucking ice out front when I get here. You know?
Yeah, and it sounds like he wants to play.
Yeah, I guess I haven't heard a whole lot about his take on it, other than he seems like a competitor.
Yeah.
Seems like that'd be something he wants to do. But like I said, I guess I can't blame him either way, but you better fucking play.
Everything I've heard is that he wants to play,
Yeah.
from Coach K and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Basically says, he wants to be with his guys.
Good.
We're gonna obviously be cautious as far as we're not gonna bring him back out until he's fully healthy. But sounds to me like they're not to say they're treating it just like they'd treat anyone, but essentially they are. Other than the fact that he's an amazing player, so they want to be extra cautious with him, I guess. But when he's ready, he'll play. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And I guess that's kind of my take on it, is that there's two separate discussions, and we can get into the second one after. But the first thing, like you said, is should he play? And I guess I agree as far as if he wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do agree. Like, I saw you post the Charles Barkley take on Twitter. And yeah, I guess because you get surrounded by all the money takes the whole time, and they make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you kind of almost lose sight of, like, the basketball take as well that still exists. And this kid is still a competitor who plays basketball, who is, probably loves this opportunity to be at Duke and compete for a national championship. And you and I were talking, there's a lot of pros that, like, great pros that look back on their 2, 3, 4 years in college and are like, that was the best time of my life playing basketball.
Yeah.
And so you don't want to take that for granted. And yeah, if he was like, nah, I'm straight, let's go secure the bag, fine, his prerogative. And I think then you'd see whatever follows from that. Like, that's the price you pay for this one and done rule, like making kids go to college. And that's the price you pay for recruiting the kids that are the one and done kids. And like, that's the risk that comes along with it. But yeah, I think there's both perspectives are valid, and it just comes down to the kid.
Yeah, I guess at this day and age, you can't really, like, lose respect for somebody that would choose to sit out or something. Like, when this first started happening, and, like, I'm still kind of on the fence about the bowl game shit, like sitting out of a bowl game to go pro. Like, you know, and I don't know why it's any different. I guess it's not. I think it's just because it's newer and like it hasn't happened for so long.
And I think it's football, so the chances of something happening are higher. And like you're probably more, if you were in the Final Four of football, the college football playoffs, you'd probably be like, play.
Yeah.
But if it's a bowl game, it literally doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah. And
like red box.
Yeah.
The only thing about it, I guess it's like different situations too. Like I think it was Will Grier or whatever. I think that's his name. The West Virginia quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he's the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like you're just leaving. In a way, you're leaving your team out to dry. Like you're the 15th ranked team or whatever in the country. You got them to that point. Essentially, like you're calling the offense. You're leading the show.
Yeah.
And then for the bowl game, like some kid that hasn't played all year is probably a freshman. Like hasn't learned anything.
Yeah.
Other than what he's seen in practice, has to go in, and then all your fucking seniors get.
It's like it's like you said. You wouldn't do it. I know you wouldn't.
No.
Wouldn't sit, and you're not like advocating sitting,
right?
But you're also just being understanding of the kid that does. Like,
yeah,
you're letting down a shit ton of people. You know, all that shit. You also are securing a whole bunch of people too.
For sure.
And
I mean, you got to live with it.
Right.
You know, I guess that's your call.
And the chances of you being able to do both are high. That's the only thing. Like the chances of you going out and getting hurt, like to the point where you get fucked and you're done for the draft, whatever, are really low, but they exist.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially in football.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I just, like I said, for me, I can't imagine like sitting out any competition really if I can do it. You know, like we could go play beer pong in the backyard, and I'm like, I'm not sitting out of that shit. You know,
dude,
like,
realistically,
put me in.
Realistically too, if something happens to him, like he has an injury,
he's got forever.
Well, and he's a lock top 10 pick. I don't care if he shatters his, like.
I think
so.
I
think I heard too that he has like some sort of insurance policy if he falls below.
Yeah, like those type of players all do not. Yeah. So it's not the same he would make, but he's not going to be, you know, dirt poor.
Right.
So, and that's smart to have the insurance policy and stuff. So I think, you know, we all kind of agree on that as far as should he play. It's just the kid's decision, and let's not forget about the sport. Like and the kid that actually wants to play and compete, and playing at Duke is part of his journey. It's not just like, I'm going to Duke so I can get to the NBA. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to Duke to like play and win a national championship.
Well, that's what I liked about that Barkley little piece. It just made sense to me. You know, like so many people lose sight of the fact that like you're a competitor. The whole reason you do this is to play in big games and play basketball.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you want to make a living off this and have it be your life. Like you also said, you're going to.
Yeah.
And even if you...
Yeah, Joel Embiid had an injury and he was third pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Like,
so, I mean,
pretty serious
that's
injury.
the thing. And then you hear everyone, like the Boogie Cousins shit, like, college doesn't mean shit, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I mean, I guess that's your take on it, and that's fine, but I don't...
And that's the thing.
It doesn't not mean shit, dude. This is a huge thing for somebody that's 18 years old.
And that's why it's both perspectives. It probably didn't to Boogie. And Boogie probably would have been the type of player that did sit, and that exists. Yeah. Like if you value, like we might value the competition more than he does, and that's his prerogative. It's his life, so whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's the whole debate, which I think we even brought up before the Zion injury, when I came over to watch, before the Zion injury even happened, is paying college athletes. And I said, because obviously once you start going down that road, there's tons of opinions. It gets really like complex. I just think the simplest answer to all of it is you can't make these kids go to college before they go to the NBA.
Yeah.
Like they ought to just be able to go to the NBA. And does that solve every problem you have? No, but I think it solves the main issue.
Yeah, I guess I just don't see why not. You know, like I can't come up with a really good reason why playing 1 year in college is better than just going straight to the pros. If they think you're ready, if a professional team thinks you're ready and they draft you and they want to build you up and, you know, have you gain weight and get better and everything you got to do to be a professional, then fuck it.
I think it's like, I don't think it has anything to do with the athletic part of it. I think it has everything to do with, like, just having enough life experience to be able to handle the lifestyle and the money that comes along with.
I heard that a lot, but I think that's a cop-out.
I don't think it
like,
is.
because 1 year in college.
I was just gonna say, like, I would
I agree.
I'd like
1
to
year in
believe
college
that,
is not
but
enough.
what is that? I mean,
It's not
I didn't
really.
learn shit my freshman year in college. I did
But
every.
I think you're better off having a couple $1 million and than the 1 year in college. I think the few million is more valuable.
I mean, it'd be a learning experience for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a learning experience. I'm more so arguing for more college as far as that end of things. I think there's two end of things. I think there's the athletic, which who cares about college at that point? And then two, it's the experience because, dude, even coming from my perspective of just life in general, like, if they actually taught some classes that actually taught you how to, like, manage money a little better, I'd like to have those before I came into any sort of money.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I don't see why they couldn't even make that a part of the NBA process.
That's what I was just thinking. That would be cool if in, like, the G League or something, if players decided to go to the G League, you could.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Well, that would be dope for just them if somebody wanted to try to go to the league and they didn't make it, if they had something like the G League to go to. I can't remember who said it, but I think they should get paid, but that is very difficult to do. But I think something even more simple would be them just getting paid off their likeness type shit. Like,
yeah, I was gonna get into that.
Their jerseys.
Yeah,
that seems very simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to cash them out. Maybe like put it in I don't know. That just seems like they're owed at least that. They're making so much money.
Yeah,
that's where I think the interesting discussion comes in. Is it doesn't sit. It's for the same reason that having to go to college before the NBA doesn't sit right with me. Where if I can come out of high school and a team wants to draft me and pay me millions of dollars, but they're not allowed because I haven't gone to college yet, that doesn't sit right with me. It's for the same reason that if I'm a college basketball player and Nike wants to pay me $1 million for what I bring to the table, but I can't because of the rules.
I definitely.
But everybody else
it's
can
only
make
basketball
money.
and football too, though. As far as you can come, like, pause. You can when you're in like baseball, hockey, you can go straight from high school. You can get drafted.
They're all
and
different.
things like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know, and obviously, baseball and basketball are the biggest.
I don't even
money
know
makers.
the rule with baseball. Can you just go? Can you just jump into a farm system? Because I know guys
without going to college.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think.
But I
you
know
get drafted.
you can get drafted and still play in college in baseball.
Yeah,
like for the whole 4 years if you want.
Yeah, I mean it is weird
it's
how
probably
this,
once you start accepting money, but I see obviously the people that are trying to get this to work have more of the ins and outs of everything. It's just super confusing to me, the whole paying college athletes.
Well, once you start letting the endorsement deals happen, which, like I said, I agree, you should get paid off your likeness and all this shit. The slippery slope there is that as far as keeping a level playing field in college athletics to a certain extent, it's like you're basically like allowing boosters legally now. So like a company or whoever can pay a college athlete to go to a certain school, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, come to Duke and so-and-so is going to give you $3 million. Or the school, if money wasn't involved, where you'd go, might only be able to offer you $50,000 through sponsorships or something like that. But at the end of the day, that shit is kind of what's happening anyway.
It is.
Illegally and legally. Like, one school has amazing facilities and, you can be on TV all the damn time.
Right.
And the other one doesn't. And they have a better chance of recruiting you.
Yeah.
I feel like that would just be recruiting then, too.
Yeah.
There'd be no talent in recruiting. It'd just be like, I can pay you the most money.
It'd become a major aspect of it.
There'd be
Yeah.
the guys that are going to Duke and Kentucky, it'd be even more one-sided than it is now, in my opinion, because they're generating the most money. So they have the most money to pay these kids. So,
although you could even open it up, though, because it's not like the school generating the money, though. It's like businesses.
Right.
Like Nike
Yeah, I guess.
isn't like a, they're not a Duke school. Like but they
Right.
could pay someone to go to Duke or any school. I'm using Duke as an example, but any company can basically pay any kid to go to any school.
How does Coach K have a Nike deal too? That shit's silly.
Because he's not a college athlete. He's not an amateur.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
he
just
can do
like
whatever.
And
that's
that's what
how they can do it. But it's like my thing is just like you're saying about the boosters, that shit is happening now. Like
Yeah.
boosters control shit.
Right.
Which is why, universities get worried if they may lose a booster or somebody who donates.
Yeah.
That money makes this world in America go around and the whole world go around.
Right.
But especially because it makes so much money, that's like, it's already happening. So just like you're saying, it'd just be making it like legal. It's like gambling.
Yeah.
People have always been gambling, but it's like,
There'd kind of be a cool aspect to it as far as too, like even local small businesses, like the Spectators could sponsor Kyle Arns. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like real talk. It opens up that for different random players to get some, spending money from local sponsors, like local restaurants
Dang,
and
I
stuff
wish.
like that.
Someone sponsor me to work for the Spectators.
yeah, I was just literally talking about
Yo,
that.
And then you solve the problem too. Real quick, you solve the problem because once you start talking about paying college athletes, Title IX starts to always come into play. And it's like, to me personally, I'm not with the whole I don't think it affects Title IX at all. Like, it shouldn't. If you just do the endorsements and stuff, it's like you allow the free market and companies to be like, this person's valuable to me, so I'm gonna pay them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with basketball, has more money than this sport and women's and men's, and it's like, no. You as an individual person, as an athlete, have this value, and
So-
somebody wants to pay for it.
Right, but then that would be the deal. So more than half of college athletes wouldn't get paid at all.
If that's how it shook out, yeah. And then it's still their prerogative to play
That's
if,
right.
if they want.
Right, I know. I'm just saying isn't that what everyone's arguing for? Is that everyone should be getting paid?
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's if you pay college athletes, like if Michigan State pays athletes to play for them.
Yeah.
But if you just open it up to sponsorships and endorsements, I don't see how that could be.
And is that without scholarships on?
I don't know. I don't know where that would come into.
Sean
it, but-
30 gave us a super chat
Yo,
asking
Good luck, Sean.
30,
asking
yeah.
what about scholarship or getting paid, like giving them the choice.
Well, obviously, if we're talking about endorsements and sponsorships,
Then you
you're
take
going to
that
take
shit
that.
off,
Unless
yeah.
you're like more of a bench level player, then you might have to weigh that option. But like for Zion, we're talking about millions.
We're talking potential
Yeah.
like hundreds of millions.
We're talking hundreds.
billion, gazillion, fulfillion.
So yeah, you're going to take that, and I don't even necessarily see why. I mean, when you're talking about that kind of money, it's like the scholarship actually does become like whatever. But once you start going down the ladder, yeah, it becomes more important. And I don't see why you'd have to do anything about scholarships. You can still give scholarships because the school is still giving you a scholarship to play there. And I mean, you can't just assume
Yeah, but then the scholarship, what value is a scholarship?
it's not for an
There is
athlete.
no.
It isn't.
There is
No,
none.
I mean,
It
if
isn't
you
for
get
that top
bread-
tier athlete.
Right.
So then you're giving scholarships to your bench warmers? I don't know. Because multiple people won't take that because a scholarship is just,
I don't think you have to choose. I don't think you should. I think if a school wants you to play for them, they
So
can offer
could
you
you
a full ride just like they do now.
Potentially both.
Yeah. And you and I don't think every single person okay, Zion could make millions, but the vast majority of college athletes, these sponsorship deals aren't going to be dude, free tuition costs a lot of fucking money. That's a good for most athletes.
Right.
That's going to be awesome to get scholarships.
Yeah.
For the select few at the top that are going to make millions on sponsorships and stuff, yeah, it's not that much money. But the vast majority of people, I can't imagine would be commanding insane amounts in endorsements and stuff like that.
Right.
There's so many college athletes.
that's why I just feel let them go pro
Yeah.
and don't pay 'em.
And no endorsements.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, because at least then you as a person, if you can go pro, you can go do it. But you still have the whole issue of NCAA making all this money.
Right, and I mean I get that. I do understand that. It's just so hard to, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I haven't thought about it enough and don't know enough about it to really break it down because I can see different points
Yeah.
make sense, but it's just so,
Well,
such a weird. I don't know.
The other slippery
Doesn't make
slope,
sense to
and
me.
people will laugh at this, but it's true. Where does it stop?
Exactly.
Why doesn't this happen in high school? Zion was bringing people to the gym in high school.
I mean, it allegedly does. You hear about that all the time.
But that's what I mean. It happens behind closed doors.
Exactly.
But like in high school, can you start saying like these kids should be paid off their likeness and be allowed to have sponsorships and endorsements? Because the same arguments kind of apply unless you just think, which I kind of do, high school is more of a like, it's great for every kid to go through high school, get that knowledge, 4 years of high school, like get that base knowledge. So I'm good with the amateurism and stuff there. Like, let's make sure every kid goes through high school. And,
well, in high school, how do they? You get all your school jerseys and stuff. Like, if you aren't on a team, like, how do you get the jerseys? Like in college, they factory produce, they mass produce like your stuff, so they can sell your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's way more money in college than there is in high
right.
school.
Yeah,
In high school, it's like there's not really money to be made unless you are just like
not even
endorsements
That's true.
type stuff.
Yeah, it's not even in the same.
You don't really have a
atmosphere.
likeness that unless your school is pumping out your jerseys.
Well, but it's not pumping out your jerseys, but like all these fucking academies and shit, like all these players are transferring to now. You know, they're not even. I mean, they're schools, but the only reason they're going there is because these giant academies are in the national spotlight and they get on ESPN.
Remember Oak Hill and all that
Exactly.
shit?
They are making high school jerseys and stuff too. I don't know when. I don't know
Well,
if
I
it's
was
when the
thinking,
kid's
like,
still in high
I'm
school.
like,
or
oh
not,
dang,
but-
we had the Carmelo jersey, and
Yeah.
all those
But
throwbacks.
yeah, but like LaMelo is transferred to IMG or whatever. Like that's not a fucking like high school. I mean, it is, but you know what I
Right.
mean. It's not like a town.
It reminds me of like Lakeside, because Lakeside
Right.
was like turned
Pretty
into
much.
a something different, like not a regular ass team. Like it was like some kind of technicality type.
and
shit.
that's like if you're getting into it, that's money because these people are paying to go to these schools and team. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah, there's
I
a
don't
lot
know.
of.
It's just a fucking.
That's why once you get into it, there's a lot of. But I 100% think that kids should be able to go straight to the pros.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Secondly, I'm definitely open to the endorsement idea. I personally don't like the idea of paying college athletes because I think it, like the schools, because I think it, or the NCAA, because it opens up such a can of worms as far as like different sports and men's and women's and blah, blah, blah. Because a lot of those are not the same as like basketball and football where tons of money is being generated. And
I just think it monopolizes the. I don't know if that's the right word, but there'll be even less parity in sport.
But I am open to the endorsement thing because I don't know. Another good aspect of the endorsements and sponsorships is if you value the college education and stuff, that's going to keep kids in college longer.
Yeah.
If you don't have to be like, well, I got to go get paid.
Right.
You're like, oh, I'm making money, so I'll stay all 4 years of college.
Yeah.
Right.
I think it 100% would.
Yeah, but no like top tier guy is gonna do that.
What do you mean? If Zion was making a few mil from Nike every year, you don't
You
think he
think
might
he-
stay an extra year?
No, I don't.
I don't think.
I think
guess-
there's a lot, like as a State fan who doesn't
don't
always get
know.
these one and dones, there's a lot of guys that go like after 2 years because their stock is high and whatever. You know, I think they would stay.
I think Zion's unique in the sense. It's like Zion's like a LeBron, where it's like
Yeah.
he could just go
Yeah.
from high school type stuff, but where I think like
I think
I think we have to remember, like, there's a risk to go to the NBA. Like, it's not always like what you're saying. Like, we're talking about somebody that is beyond.
Yeah,
the
forget
norm.
Zion and think about a guy that might be like the 18th pick or something like that.
like Draymond Green,
Or even-
something.
Yeah.
or even somebody else. Like, it's not always a guarantee that these guys go to the NBA and do something.
Or get drafted in the first round, which is guaranteed money.
Yeah, and if they're getting guaranteed money now,
Right.
in college,
right.
they might think twice.
Yeah. And there are a lot of situations where these guys don't come from a lot of means and
Yeah, for
like
sure.
if they're not making shit. And so they jump to the league because it's like, I got to start making money. If they can
No.
pull in $100,000 a year off sponsorships or something like that,
I
then all of
agree
a sudden
with
that problem goes
I
out the
definitely
window.
agree with that. But I mean, you think about it's only going to keep getting bigger money wise. Like somebody's bringing in $100,000 in college. Well, you get to jump to the league, you're about to be making millions.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, I feel like that's what it is anyway. It's just these big ass numbers, something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Like you might never seen $100,000.
I mean, I don't disagree with you.
You really never seen $5 million for their first year. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree with you, and I'm not. You're right. You're not talking about like a huge percentage of people. But
I think like the mid-tier.
You have like Miles Bridges.
But they're gonna stay.
That's exactly
He
what
was projected to go pretty high, and he came back for another year. Like, he liked playing in college.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it would have been an easier decision if he was getting paid to be in college. Right.
Shit, he might be. Who knows?
Yeah, they already put something in to change the rule, right, to jump to the league now.
Made it
I don't know.
18
Yeah,
instead of 19.
that's one thing that even like, I mean, I get it, but because this happened to Zion or whoever, if it would have happened to LeBron and if he went to college or something, like now we're going to do the Tom Brady thing where we change the fucking rules every time some generational guy gets.
Yeah,
like,
they need to just I don't
do it
I don't know
because
why
you
it's
should
going
do
back and forth so much with that rule. Just let people go make their money.
Right.
It's not like there's just when they had it that you could jump to the league. It's not like every high school player went to the league.
Right.
Like the top tier ones did, and the rest of them went to college. Like, just let it be, man. Let people do their thing.
I think if that would make it more guys would stay in college longer.
Because you don't have that top tier.
Because you're weeding out those guys.
Yeah.
You know, that was when like you were getting a lot of 3-year guys, 2 and 3-year guys, which I mean that's fine. That gives them a good chance to develop in college. A lot of like a Jay Williams and Mike Dunleavy and all those guys that were on there, they all graduated in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they got their college education and then they went pro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's just a different, that's the best. The first thing they should do is that, in my opinion.
I agree. Something we haven't talked about for the last few weeks that I've gotten a lot of people wanting us to touch on because it's been at the top of the news cycle is Jussie.
Jussie's mom.
And it's been in the news for a while now, but I've specifically not wanted to talk about it because I wanted shit to come out. Like, it sounded fishy at the beginning, but you never know. Like, I'm not going to just come out and report the news. Like, I want to actually have a stance on shit. But now after a few weeks, like, it seems pretty clear that this dude,
it wasn't 100% accurate, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. I even thought about, because I saw people wanting us to talk about it, and dude, I don't even know what take I can come up with here. It's super fucking sad and wrong and fucked up, and all it does is hurt people.
Dude, it seems like such a fucking weird thing because he wanted to get a bigger check.
Yeah.
How does that even guarantee that you get a bigger check?
That is a good thing to talk about, though.
What I mean?
Because
like, I don't understand.
That was something that crossed my mind is, dude, I believe, personally, we've gotten to a point with social media and society and stuff that we have put, like, victimhood on such a pedestal.
Yes.
That it actually, like, I believe it's factually true, and obviously he did, that if this happens to him, that he gets a bag. Like, his price goes up.
Yeah.
He gets to be on all these platforms, and he's
the
Jussie
gay
Smollett.
Tupac. That's what he said.
Yeah, bro.
What did he say?
He said he was the gay Tupac. After when he did his first appearance after the incident where he had his face all swollen.
Okay.
And bro, the sad thing is, I don't think he's wrong.
I guess, yeah.
If we couldn't prove that this shit was such a hoax.
I mean, like you, I'm gonna need to see some receipts. You know what I mean? I ain't listening to no police.
Bro, there's plenty of receipts. Like, literally, there's receipts.
Yeah.
One receipt that was a little crumpled was that the police chief was talking about how he definitely, this is on like Good Morning America. He said that he definitely, or after his lawyer talked to him, he went in there and got through to him, and he finally admitted that he was just going to tell the truth about everything. And that they found that he paid those brothers $3,500, and they asked him, what was it for? And he goes, for the thing, for the hoax or whatever. So then the screenshots of the text messages come out between him and the dudes, their personal trainers. So it was actual, like, they were talking about the payments for the personal training. Like, there was meal plans, blah, blah, blah. The whole conversation was about this $3,500 going to these dudes for this training. So it's like, okay.
No, yeah, and I saw that too, but then I was like, the timing of it looked really suspicious.
He could, and again, I'm the conspiracy type dude. I'm like, had he known that this was all about to be a lick, it's like, okay, they're probably gonna check my phone. So let's get some shit down.
Well, that's what I mean. You're not gonna write a check that says for the shit. Like, it's gonna say, workout plan,
Or,
whatever.
Like, why are you even writing a check?
Well, right, but.
To me, it's not even about the check. It's like,
and then
I don't even give a shit about the check.
These two dudes were on camera at the store, like buying all this fucked up shit.
That's what's fucked up to me. Is like they're on camera buying all the shit that was used in the shit.
But I want to see a video. I want to see videos
of what?
Of like, I didn't see any what I want to see I want to see it all.
What do you need to see?
I want to see everything.
Isn't that the point?
He tried to get it on camera, but he realized the camera was facing the wrong way.
The whole story was freaking. It just hit your ears crazy. It was like, oh, that's
this dude gets
like
jumped
it's MAGA
in the middle
country,
of
and then punched me in the
Chicago.
face. It's like,
No.
that's weird.
Yeah, these dudes went and bought all the fucking supplies, including the red hat, at the store. They were like, apparently, they went to meet, and then they just ended up sitting on the bench because Jussie was late, and it was just everything I saw was just like
in that Subway order.
And I'm definitely the dude. Like I said, this has been in the news cycle for a while, and everyone's been jumping all over. I'm the dude that's like, let's see the evidence, and they have he'll have his day in court, but I also have a brain, and from everything I've gathered, this is a hoax, and. I don't know, man. That's
such a weird one, too.
He's got a very large hole to dig himself out of.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
isn't a hoax.
For sure.
Well, yeah. And he's about to be made an example of, is what it sounded like. Like they're about to throw the book at him. They're trying to,
I think they said he could face up to like 3 years. But
that's probation or 3 years.
I don't know that he like. And you're right, they could make an example out of him, but
I would hope not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want to downplay it because that's not dope at all. Especially for people that actually give a fuck and gave a fuck, they showed support for him and shit. Like if you were playing us, bro, that's not cool, man.
Bro, when he was talking about when he did his interview and he was like, yeah, we were tussling, whatever. And he's like, when they got done tussling and he got on the phone, he was like, I looked down and there was a rope around my neck. Bro, what? You didn't realize someone was putting a rope around your neck while you...
And then he kept it on?
Yeah, and then he was like, and later on,
I
figured out there was bleach on me. It's like, so you didn't realize while shit was going on that bleach was getting poured on you? It was... And then he kept the shit on. It was just, it's a lot of things that don't add up. And like I said, I'll wait till everything's just out there and whatever to officially kill him. You know what I'm saying? But as a human being, from the information I've gathered, from the evidence I've seen, it doesn't.
There's enough evidence out there for me to be like, all right.
One thing I will say on the other side is I never really like when officials. We kind of talked about it in the 21 Savage shit, like when police and stuff like that. Before it is all out there and these people have their day in court, I don't like people just saying some of these things in public. Like, yeah, please give us the facts of the case that you've gathered, sure, but don't get into the whole how terrible this is for the city of Chicago and blah blah. Do that silly. After he has his day in court.
Yeah.
That's what I think personally.
Yeah. But that's the whole problem with the media covering it in a way that's not right to begin with. Because the thing is, they don't have to address that unless it's blown out of proportion to begin with by the media.
Yeah.
The thing is, no matter what, he should be innocent until proven guilty, but he's not because of the media.
That shit will never happen.
Yeah, that might be the thing I hate about the media most today is that they've killed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
Dude, the craziest thing is that it's like when people that work for new or corporations, anybody really, on their Twitter or whatever, they're like, these are my own opinions. This does not represent my company type thing. It's like, there's a person at each one of these freaking things that writes an article. You know what I mean? And it's they're big people that write the CNN, the front page of CNN. It's this is written by one person, but it gets the green light from the masses of the people. But it's like that's a lot of power, man.
We need to hit a day because we've already officially hit it, in my opinion. Like, I don't know that there's a news outlet that is unbiased or doesn't like sway right or left or whatever. So let's stop acting like any of this shit is unbiased journalism. It's like not. Everybody puts their slant on it. And so if we can go into shit knowing that, like, that helps the general public. Because yeah, dude. And now it always used to be that news stations wanted to be the first to report on stuff. And that's good. That's how we get our news and journalism and all that. But with social media now, it has to be so fast because otherwise somebody else already has it, that no one does their due diligence or anything like that. It's just, what's the first thing out there? And dude, if this shit all turns out to be a hoax, which it looks like it is, if you go back and watch his interview,
oh my God,
that shit will, I did it today. I was like, that shit will make your stomach turn.
Yeah.
It's like, you are, if this shit is all a hoax,
how do you do?
You are a piece of shit, bro.
I just don't get how you can.
It just opens your eyes to like what people will do. Like,
to me, it's like, wow, you really should be an actor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You should go back to
good
school and be better.
Yeah. Oh my God,
that was not good.
He's crying and shit, and he's like, "That's why Subway's open to eat."
Yeah,
it's like, just that whole.
He punched me in the face, so I punched his ass back, bro. You did this to yourself, apparently.
That's what I'm saying.
Subway hates
just
him.
to be like,
yeah, they're like,
how'd we get time? We already had to deal with Jerry. God damn it.
Man, it was Sunday. I was at Chick-fil-A. Man, it was packed. These dudes ran up on me.
God.
Sunday at Chick-fil-A.
Yo, what's scary to think about with that shit though is like my main thing with that whole situation, dude. If you just have one smarter dude than Jussie, like
he could get away with that.
He could get away with it, dude.
That's
what
really
I said. And he would get the bag, bro.
That's fucked up to me.
Yeah, and that's
Real
why.
fucked
And I
up.
know this isn't the popular thing on social media, but fuck it, this is how I feel. I'm not a believe all victims guy.
No.
Like, because you're not a victim. I'm not a believe everyone that claims they're a victim.
Right.
I believe victims because I believe you're a victim if the evidence says you're a victim.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with, like, when I say I don't believe all victims, that doesn't mean I don't believe all victims. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with, like, Black Lives Matter. It doesn't mean that other lives don't matter. I'm just saying Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Like, if I don't believe all victims, it doesn't mean anyone that claims they're a victim, I'm like, I believe evidence. Like,
right.
show me that this shit actually happened, and then I'll believe you.
Exactly.
And when you say it, I'm not like, nah. I'm just like, okay, let's see.
You just don't jump to the conclusion,
Right?
Yeah.
Instantly,
right.
like everyone else.
Because somebody says something doesn't mean that shit happened, and then everyone's all like, well, why would they do it? Like, that's proof. Well, why would they do it then? Well, look at this.
I don't fucking know. Exactly.
Dude,
yeah,
you
like,
could
I don't
dream
know.
up anything.
Why would they do
I know.
it?
Just because I'm not that type of a person doesn't mean somebody else will be able to
Exactly.
dream it up.
But I think that's the thing, is we need to realize there are perks to these things.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a lot of them.
Yeah. And so you just got to be careful, man. Like, and that's what sucks is, one of the biggest things that will come out of this is people that are victims of hate crimes and stuff like that. The next thing that happens fucked up, that's a real hate crime. What's the first thing that's going to come out of people's mouth? Oh, remember Jussie?
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's just a cop out too, though, to me. But I
What
agree.
is?
with you.
Like,
That's
remember
going to
Jussie?
be- yeah,
It's the truth. It's what's going to happen.
Remember that
though.
one time?
Yeah. But that's the thing too, though, bro, is you can't just, because I know there's both sides. I agree with you. And then there's the side that's like, this Jussie thing is the only time this has ever happened. And it's the one time.
Yeah.
Bro, imagine if he wasn't so stupid.
Dude.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
Like,
Right.
it'd just be another crime that they didn't catch the perpetrators,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
you're
then,
stupid to believe that this hasn't happened
Right.
before and somebody's gotten away with it.
right. Like, this type of shit does happen. And I don't have stats to know how often this, because no one knows.
Right.
Like, but it works both ways. This isn't the only time this has happened, but it doesn't mean that anytime something happens that this is what happens.
Exactly.
It's just, and that's why no matter what, like, just stop with the blanket statements and all this. Look, something happens. Look at that case. Look at the evidence. Think for yourself.
Yep.
Don't let other people think for you. Like, let other people
Not
gather
every
evidence
case
for you.
is the same.
And even that speaks to the whole, like I said before, just because something gets litigated and then they say, oh, it happened or it didn't happen, that doesn't even mean for sure. Like, gather the evidence for yourself. Our law fucks up all the time, bro. Innocent people go free, or innocent people get put in jail, and vice versa.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with everything, it's everyone doing some shit is a human. Everyone.
Right.
They call it human error for a reason.
Right.
Like,
so what sense does it make to, like, always believe victims, or the opposite? Like, both don't make sense.
There's never any and always.
Right.
Never.
You wouldn't say always believe
rather.
anybody.
Right.
Like any group of people, whatever.
Your parents lied to you about Santa forever.
Right.
Forever. With a straight face, smiling, everything.
Right. That's the only time, like, I will for sure always err on, like, believing somebody if it's someone I know. And then I'm still going to gather the evidence.
Right.
Like, if you guys told me some fucked up shit happened to you, I know you have a reputation with me that I can be like, I can trust you.
Yeah.
But if all signs point to you lying, I'm not going to just be like, no,
Right.
they would never.
Right.
If every single sign is pointing me to that.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know. People
I
just
can't
need to
understand why they would do that.
think. Yeah.
I can't either.
Well,
Like, a lot of
know.
people can't.
Right.
It's the
but
stupidest fucking excuse.
maybe they don't even know, but they did it.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse.
Yeah.
Just because you can't fathom it doesn't mean that it can't happen.
I just, like, dude, it fucks everybody over. It fucks victims over. It fucks people that want to always think of victims lying. Like, it gives them ammo. It does everything bad for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wins in this
Yeah, he
shit.
definitely did it for selfish reasons.
Oh my God, dude. And like I said, we'll see what ends up coming out, but it doesn't look good for him. Which brings me to Ja Rule. Do you have those
Murder.
do you have those clips I sent you, Mo?
I have the clips.
Play the
Grinding.
play the first one. Okay, because what do you guys know about this shit? Did you?
Not a
Yeah.
ton. Q told me about it.
The halftime
Yeah.
at the Bucks
Yeah.
Timberwolves game. I watched a couple different videos because originally I heard it on the Breakfast Club talking about how he got crickets. And it was pretty funny, the couple videos that I initially saw. And then I saw in the comment section, which I usually don't read, sometimes I do, people were like, this isn't even true. You guys are reaching type thing. Watch this video. It shows people clapping and whatnot. So I watched it and it was like a normal show.
That's why I wanted to transition into it from the Jussie shit, because, Doug, it was like a bunch of big publications and accounts and stuff posting this thing, which made it look like crickets and made it look, and it, like you said, it was funny.
It's way funny.
And it's not like I'm, after all that Fire Festival shit, I'm like, no, don't do Ja like that. But it bugs the shit out of me when this stuff happens. So play this clip, and then this one you can hear why he even said the whole, remember he was like, guess not?
Yeah.
Like, you can hear his DJ.
He asked his boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, are we ready?
Yeah, play that shit.
They said this is 90s night, so they brought out a 2000 artist.
Not
But
funny.
my album came out in 99, so I guess that counts. Sanchez, we ready?
You gotta give it time to load up.
So then he does the extended.
I guess not.
Damn, played him.
I didn't even hear the DJ say that.
Yeah,
the
see,
first
this
time
is
I
a
watched
different
it.
clip than was even going.
Yeah.
The one that was going around, you couldn't even hear the
Turn me
DJ.
up.
It looks like he's saying that to the
Turn me
crowd
up.
in the one I saw.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And the crowd that you hear in this video, in the other ones going around, is even less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then play the real video, like where you can actually hear a crowd and shit, and isn't just his solo
Ready
mic.
to party? Let me hear you say yeah. Say yeah. They said this is 90s night, so they brought out a 2000 artist. Sanchez, we ready?
What does he say there?
I think the name of his
The
DJ,
name of his DJ.
Oh.
because I was trying to figure that out too.
I mean, that's just a little obnoxious to your DJ.
And then you say, guess not.
I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, that was a fuck
Fire.
up.
But this dude said,
And then people go,
Turn me up. Middle
Like people, and this
it sounds like a normal basketball.
and bro,
Dude,
it's a halftime show. It's not
gonna
like it's
say,
a big
those-
Ja Rule concert.
Those never go hard.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
those
they're
are
never-
always
they're-
awkward
they-
and
they
quiet. and
never
shit.
go hard.
It's like families and their kids and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
And that's the problem I have with it. Not to be the guy, like, I don't want to just go find a problem with everything because I like comedy and all that shit too. But people weren't posting it, like comedy accounts weren't
Yeah.
posting. It was like actual publications that are supposed to report what happened
Right. Yeah.
are like saying this shit. Like TMZ and Complex are reporting on it like this is what happened.
Yeah.
No, it fucking
wasn't.
didn't.
yeah.
But they get way more from it. Dude, the lie is just better.
Oh
it's,
my god,
It's pretty
dude.
fucked up.
It exhausts me, bro. And it's because why do they do it? Because it fits the narrative. Like everyone watched Fire Festival.
Yep.
Everyone wants this to happen to Ja Rule, so let's put it out there and it'll
Yeah.
catch fire. It fits the narrative we have.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what's fucked up too. Is like we do a podcast, so I watch this shit and I look into it. You know what I mean? But on a typical, day-to-day basis, I'm not scrolling through Instagram, seeing some cricket Ja Rule video and being like, well, let's dig a little deeper
Yeah,
into this.
yeah.
You just see
Right.
it, you laugh, and you assume that happened, and
if
you
you
put it
weren't
in your
doing a
mental.
podcast, you'd never know.
Yeah, and you go talk
If you weren't doing
you go
this
talk to 5
podcast.
people, and you all make fun of him, and that shit just spreads, and that
Yeah.
becomes the narrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Isn't that
fucked,
fucking
bro.
crazy?
It's fucked.
So everybody out there, you're welcome.
You're welcome, Ja.
Yeah, they don't like this truth.
And yeah, then he has to go defend himself on his shit.
Yeah.
The truth is boring.
That shit is crazy.
It's crazy.
Very different. Two very different.
Expand that shit to like all media, all things that happen in the
Yeah.
world. Like, bro, it's kind of scary.
That's power, man.
yeah. It's like you said,
Word of
one
mouth.
person goes and posts something on behalf of some company or whatever, and
Then that's word is
shit
bond.
spreads.
Yo. Word is bond.
All right, so one of our favorite artists up here, Nip Hussle.
Ooh.
I just saw a little article. It was really short, but it basically talked about how he, before his deal, like he just signed with, I believe, Atlantic.
Atlantic. Yeah.
And-
yeah.
He was making over 100,000, like 6 figures on his catalog per month before he signed his deal. Now, to us who have been following Nipsey, that's not like some huge surprise to us who have been following him, but to a lot of people that are like, oh, Nipsey Hussle just signed a deal, just put out this album that's like Grammy nominated and stuff. He's new on the map to some people as far as being a big artist that's getting radio spins and stuff like that. But I guess it was just interesting to me. We like to talk about a lot of independent artist stuff on here. And a lot of people like to, there's different artists and people that go through different things and people that sign different deals.
Yeah.
And Nipsey Hussle gets a lot of credit for doing the independent grind. I'm sure he was approached by labels
Oh yeah.
every year, multiple times,
Yeah.
that tried to offer him deals that he didn't like.
Right.
But he could have got to the money quicker. He
Right.
could have got an advance. He could have done this
yeah.
stuff. But his longevity and his ownership wouldn't have been there. He grinded it out year by year. He's been in the game for a minute, doing it, like
minutes.
putting out material, doing different things. And then he signs a deal, a partnership that makes sense for him. And I think it's lost on a lot of young artists that Nipsey's situation, he got a good deal. Someone that goes and signs, some young artist that goes and signs to a 360, they got fucked over. No, Nipsey put in years of hard work, built up leverage to be able to say, hey,
Yeah.
this is the deal we're doing.
Right.
And it's going to benefit both of us.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, you're right. Whereas some guy that has one hit and a major label approaches him, or not even a hit,
Right.
just builds up a little buzz, and some label approaches him with a deal, you don't really have that much leverage. And whatever leverage you have, use it.
Yeah.
And if you don't get a deal you like, then keep on your grind.
Yeah.
Russ did that shit too. Like Russ has tons of songs on his TuneCore catalog, like that he did independently. Then he signed, got a partnership with, I believe, Columbia, and that album. And I assume I was trying to figure it out, but I don't know if you know, Mo. I assume it's everything he does. He has a 50-50 profit split with Columbia on everything going forward. I know it's for his music. I would assume it's for touring too. I don't know that though.
I don't know what his touring deal is. but
I can't believe he would get all his touring because I'm sure the label's helping him with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But whatever
he
the
might
case,
get a bigger percentage.
yeah, whatever the case may be, he's got a 50-50 profit split on his music going forward, but he owns all the stuff he did before the label came in.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge, man.
That's massive.
Because then you sign to the label and all your old stuff gets spins too.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Way more space.
Well, I mean, I think, like you said, I mean, you can have one hit, like a lot of these dudes do, and they're just trying to capitalize off that one hit. But
Right.
I mean, Russ and Nipsey and the super successful people, these people are artists. They're music artists. They're good at that shit, and they want to do that. So they're not just trying to capitalize off every little thing to, you know, like to the fullest, I guess. And
They're being smart about it.
well, they're being smart, but they're not just looking right here, right now.
Yeah,
they
have
know
the
that
long-
down the line,
Yeah.
if this keeps up, fucking Russ was on the Forbes list
Yep.
like last year, 2 years ago, whatever
Yeah.
it was when he was independent.
Oh, when he was independent?
I'm
I don't think so.
Are you, okay,
I
maybe
think he
not.
was signed, but yeah, it was like his first year being signed.
Okay, that was probably what it was.
Yeah.
However, still on it, and he just grinded and waited for the right opportunity to sign.
Yeah.
And it was at the right time. Like, I'm sure right off the bat when he had his first sort of big song, like you said about Nipsey, I'm sure he was approached all the time. And he could have just tried to capitalize that and make it as big as it was and then been tied into some bullshit deal,
Yep.
lost his buzz by the time he got out of that deal, and then
Yeah, and
it's fucked.
And that's the thing is I love seeing these guys do this stuff because that's got to be scary. Like,
For sure.
you're not guaranteed to be around forever in music, but you know what you built and you know what you have, and if it's strong enough, you got to have confidence. It's like in any sport, in a contract year or something, or with football, like betting on yourself. Like, I'm not going to take the long-term deal because I feel like I'm worth more. I'm going to do the franchise tag or the whatever, where if I get hurt, I could fuck up the bag, but I'm going to bet on myself.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that vibe as far as like, I built this whole thing up, and if it fails, it's going to fail with me. And not because of someone else.
Well, I'm sure he was probably doing, these guys they're doing pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's making 6 figures on his TuneCore a month.
Right. So like they're not just doing nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's good to fall back on. However, like you said, you're getting offers for, $1 million, which, oh my God, that seems like a ton right now, but you're not going to make anything after that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Nip worked his way up to that. Like, I'm sure there was a point a little while ago that he was getting approached by labels when he wasn't making that type of money. Like, it was good money. Like you said, he was a successful independent artist.
Yeah.
But maybe not 6 figures a month, where it's like, damn, they're offering me big money right now. And they open you up. Like, they can offer you, live TV spots and certain touring opportunities and radio and stuff that you can't break into as an independent artist on your own. So it's tempting, but it is just one of those things. I guess the main point of it all is realize that these deals, for the most part, get done because that's what makes sense with that artist.
Right.
Like, yeah,
At
there
the
are
time.
shitty deals where the wool gets pulled over somebody's eyes. That happens.
Yeah, for sure.
But I would guess that the majority of these things happen, like a major label that signs an artist to a quote unquote shitty deal, totally put that artist on.
Yeah.
Whereas a Nipsey Hussle, a Russ, who have these partnership deals, were really successful as independent artists, and then use these partnerships to take them to the next level.
Yeah.
That's why.
And that's why you don't see many of those guys.
Yeah.
It's like each person's just their vision, like even related to sports and music, rap, whatever, go hand in hand. It's like Zion type shit. Like, what's the vision for yourself? Do you just want the bag, like the quick bag or whatever? Or like some dudes just want to make a hit so they can get some money real quick because they haven't had it or whatever. But some people, like a Nipsey, like, you knew that he had the vision for like the long game.
Yep, for
Like,
sure. He was always preaching.
man, like he wasn't gonna take anything less than that. But that's not that many people. Some
No.
people just,
Well, I
want.
You're
I think
security
Nipsey knows
fast.
he's talented too. I don't know that some of these fucking
He knows he has it.
Yeah, I don't know that some of these whack dudes that are coming out and have one song that just catches on, but it's like like this isn't a good song.
And the
It's
work
just,
ethic.
you know,
like you look at a Russ and you
Work
look at a
ethic.
Nipsey, and it's like
That's more what it
they
is.
were gonna make it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't get longevity without work. ethic.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So
And you don't put yourself on without work ethic.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
that,
and to your point, like, yeah, I respect the hell out of those dudes, but to your point about the kid that wants to just go get the money, I'm not mad at it
Right.
at all.
It's probably a smart business play
Yeah.
for some of these dudes. You
Just
know?
don't,
Agreed.
just
Make
don't
as much
5
as you-
years from now look at a Nipsey who signed a partnership deal and be like, man, I got fucked.
Right.
No, bro,
Yeah.
you were in a totally different
Right.
situation.
Yeah, exactly.
right. That's
So-
why it goes back to even our contract discussion last week.
Oh, God.
Like, no,
last
the
week.
caddy, yeah. Or just any contract discussion we've had ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally, it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
And it's too easy to look back after all the stuff has been done
That's
and be
true.
like, I got fucked.
Yeah.
Like, no. You don't remember where you were. Like, yeah, now.
Back
Like,
then.
you weren't that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
SoundCloud is distributing now. I know
Yeah.
Mo said we should touch on that. So I looked at it and basically
They're being
literally nothing to speak of.
distributing how?
Like if you're an independent artist, go through DistroKid. You don't-
well, it's just interesting because SoundCloud is making all these moves that they should have made 5 years ago.
yeah,
That's
that's
real.
real.
Shit.
Before DistroKid came out.
Yeah, they're the example of being too slow to the punch. Is because that's the thing, dude. SoundCloud could have dominated all of these.
They were
That's what
the
everyone was
thing.
putting
Dude,
shit on. Yeah.
The term SoundCloud rapper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Then turned into
we just
mumble
talked
rap.
about Russ. Like he literally
Yeah.
made his hay on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Imagine if they would have taken advantage of the hype with Russ and Chance the Rapper and everything at their height of using SoundCloud, and that's
Oh my
it.
God, yeah.
And then introduced all this shit that they're doing: monetization, distribution. Dude,
They could have been the first people
I'm
to
not
partner
even sure
with a Russ.
Spotify
and a
would have been
Chance.
able to
Yeah.
break in.
Right.
Yeah. And Chance
looking.
was another one. He's another independent artist that did all that, and he was looking. He was
Yeah.
looking for the right
No,
thing.
I know.
And he was a big SoundCloud
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
I just had some of them Doritos.
I think SZA and TDE got like a good partnership deal because they just do things. I don't know.
You gotta have the.
You gotta have the
fucking
long-term vision.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You gotta
which
see it.
SoundCloud does not.
Nah.
No, dude,
Very
like,
reactionary.
Yes, very, bro.
It's sad, dude. They could have been huge.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
But yeah, I think
we
they're-
saw it though.
I think their deal is you got to have the premium membership, which is
Yeah.
like the real premium one to have the unlimited releases is like $150 a month or a year or something
year,
like
I
that.
think,
yeah.
Whereas
Fuck.
DistroKid is $20 a year, something like that, right?
Is it?
I thought it was.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Wait, what's
It-
a year?
Yeah, it's cheap,
DistroKid is cheap.
and you can put out as much shit as you want.
Damn.
Yeah, any independent artist that's like just getting started in this shit, DistroKid, that's where you want to go. At least from everything else.
I mean, the only the difference is though SoundCloud's its own platform. DistroKid is not.
right, but who cares?
Well, now that's what I'm saying. Like, it would have been dope if they would have been relevant.
Right.
Like, SoundCloud could have been like, release on our platform. Not only do you get paid on our platform, but we can distribute you to the other platforms that get you doubly paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would
that's
there
true.
not be a reason to,
They're pretty
like-
stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're dumb.
Is you dumb?
Right now, we'd probably be talking about how Russ and Chance are signed to SoundCloud.
Right.
It
If they would've done the
sound
right
crazy
thing.
now.
And we'd be talking about how Spotify is having a hard time breaking into the streaming era.
Spotify might have never happened.
Apple Music would have eaten them up.
that's
Yeah,
wild.
That's real.
So, what do you guys think about old Bob Kraft?
Damn,
Trying to
Bobby.
get a handy dandy.
Yo, they say they have video evidence.
Yeah, sweet.
Wow, dope.
Who's
Yeah,
watching that?
Yeah, you want me to read you guys the report?
Is it as
Yeah,
good
do
as
it.
Jussie Smollett's
Dude, it's
video evidence?
I don't know. It might be even better because it's a
Gotta
smaller
be
room. It wasn't outside.
All right. According to court documents, Kraft paid for a threesome on January 19th with two women taking turns manipulating his genitals. Once
Gasp.
Kraft finished, the women cleaned him up and he gave them each a $100 bill.
Man, he kind of cheap, huh?
That's why he's going there. He's too
Bob
stingy to
Kuchar,
pay the
dude.
full price for the privacy, dude. He's like, fuck it, I'll risk it. Park the Bentley out front.
Yeah.
So his first incident occurred. There's two incidents that I guess they caught on tape. The first one was January 19th. The second one was the next day. The Patriots were playing the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. The employee escorted Kraft to a room identified as JPPD Cam 2. There, the two hugged each other, and Kraft took off all his clothing, laid face up on the massage table, and the employee hugged him again. At approximately blah, blah, blah time, the employee began manipulating Kraft's penis and testicles, and then put her head down by his penis. This went on several minutes. After a few minutes, the employee wiped Kraft in the area of his genitals with a white towel, helped him get dressed, and hugged him again. Kraft gave the employee one $100 bill plus at least one other unidentifiable bill. He was at the Asian massage parlor for a total of 14 minutes and exited to a waiting 2015 blue Bentley.
So
the big hoopla is that allegedly these women, some are sleeping in the parlor.
Yeah, they're part of like a nasty prostitution
sex
ring.
trafficking type thing, which is not cool.
Yeah. So at least as it relates to Bob Kraft, it sounds like he just, is a fan of the rub and tugs.
That's what it seems like.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Someone we know that we knew out in LA would co-sign that.
I mean, yeah, for real.
But yeah, as far as like how it relates to the bigger picture, obviously there's some fucked up shit going on. And that's why all the cameras were in there and all this shit came out, because it's a big
like
operation.
a 6 to 8 month.
Yeah, they got like
I'm sure
a bunch of shit going on. But yeah,
they were saying that Bob Kraft isn't the biggest name.
Yeah.
Or even close.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
they
hear
have
that.
like close to
multiple times.
200 people arrested so far.
I knew
But
they had a bunch
say
of people, but I didn't know he wasn't the biggest name.
Yeah, that shit is
Is
crazy.
it Mr. Amazon?
Oh shit!
Dude, I didn't
D's all over
hear
the
that was. I didn't hear that was one of the people, obviously, but that was like one of the names that people were speculating on.
Ooh,
But
it all makes sense.
Led to his divorce,
It all makes sense.
Dude,
She said,
I mean-
I'm taking half that shit.
Like
and I deserve it.
dude,
Bob, bro.
$100?
Bob, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You cheap as well.
That's what I'm saying, and that's
He's
the only
a
reason he's
60
got to go do this shit.
Yeah, dude, come on, man.
Get one of these. Have someone that's not you go get one of these chicks and
Bring
come to
them.
somewhere
Yeah.
Right.
like where all this shit isn't just caught on video.
Bring them in the
Exactly.
Bentley. You know what I mean? Ain't no
whatever.
cameras in there.
Figure it out. You got money. Like you wipe your ass with $100 bills, bro.
Right.
Yeah, and then give them to his fucking tuggers. Ain't
And
that
a
crazy?
2015 Bentley, bro.
Yo, he's saving money.
Get your weight up.
He's saving money. I was surprised he ain't got a Tesla. You gotta save on these costs.
I guess they say he could the charge could be like a year, and obviously it probably won't happen, but could be a year. in
Yo, I
prison.
thought like
Jeez.
I thought I read that first time like prostitution charges in Florida or wherever the fuck they're at is like
Obviously,
100
it's in
hours like
Florida.
Florida's
community
nasty, bro.
service.
Florida's a
Like
different.
nothing. In a class, you gotta take a class.
Especially for a rub and tug, bro.
Yeah.
Like going into one of those massage parlors, like that just doesn't. Hearing about someone doing that as like some big crime just doesn't faze me as much as like going and soliciting a prostitute on the
Right.
corner or something,
Yeah.
which they might be the same fucking thing. I don't know, but
Unless he was also like funding this ring.
I doubt that.
I don't know.
I'd have to see.
I doubt it, but
I'd have to see the evidence.
The
there.
let me see
receipts?
some receipts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to see the receipts.
yeah. I'm not gonna just believe it because you say it.
Hey, somebody's gonna believe it.
Nah,
Tell everyone.
that's crazy that they got all those names though, and there's
Yeah.
someone bigger than him.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
that's-
saying. What?
You have to ask people about that.
I'm sure it was in the report.
Any thoughts on the Kardashian saga?
No.
No. Fuck
What?
outta here. No.
Get the fuck out of that shit. Like, that's it. That's all I have to say about that. This dude's cheated on you 400 times.
Yo, how is this
Stop
something
it.
that people talk about?
It sounds like a bunch of people
They're keeping up.
that do dumb shit that, like, then karma gets them. Like, oh, I can't believe he did the shit that he did to the woman before me. It's like, are you really surprised?
He did it to me 50,000 times.
You?
What I'm saying,
What?
I'm saying that she said that, but he's done it to her 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you expect?
And she took him from
And he's always like
she
on
was pregnant.
Yeah.
Saw her from a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
and he's always on TMZ with this shit.
The real fuck
Like, he
up.
doesn't even try and cover
The
it.
real fuck up in this shit is
Like-
Kylie's friend.
Yeah, she
Right.
dumb.
She's stupid, bro.
Mhm. She said she was black out there. That like why the
Of
fuck are we
course,
talking
of course
about
she
this
was.
shit? Yeah,
Somehow our viewers just jumped up as soon as we started talking about this.
Really?
It's a conspiracy, dude.
Hashtag Kardashians, bro.
dude, no, you can relate though as far as like on some just friend level type stuff. You know what I mean? Like if you have a friend who ain't doing shit.
Where are you going with this?
I was saying, if you have a friend that's like not doing shit, you put them on and then they fuck you over. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
man, fuck you.
Yeah, no, and with your like you fuck over my sister too.
Like that's how you feel.
Yeah,
That's why I don't understand how this shit is news, though. It's just like,
dude. It's the Kardashians, bro.
oh my god, dude.
That's how they
This
get
is
the.
just like,
That's how they get the money.
this is just life.
Yeah.
Like this is where we're at.
Yeah,
Oh
this
my
seems
God.
like
Where we're at.
this seems like a setup. Because
New season,
right, literally.
new season
for
alert.
real.
I don't even know if they're doing that show
They
anymore,
are.
but with the first time it happened, you remember everyone was like waiting, like, we gotta watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. They fucking tell on Tristan tonight. Or whatever the fuck. It's like, God, who gives a fuck?
Like if we already know, then yeah, somebody fucking told already. Like, why are we watching this?
God damn it.
Yo.
Who give a fuck though?
I wonder if Tristan's on the going to the Bobcraft.
Yo,
joints
He might be.
he was delusional talking about the Cavs were like the best team in the East or some shit after
Like,
LeBron left.
before the season.
Yeah, and like oh boy,
Yeah.
he on that run artist.
All right, that's all I got, boys. Ended it with the big finale. Are we gonna get a game or two in on the sticks?
Yeah.
Anyone that wants to hop on the FIFA sticks with us, we're gonna go try to get a couple games in.
Yeah.
Bob Kraft sticks.
Wipe them off when we're done.
Oh, you know what? I would like to. I was reading the comments throughout this entire thing.
Good, doing your job.
And I want to address something.
Uh-oh.
Something really grinding my gears.
Uh-oh.
I didn't like. There was somebody in the chat that was stirring the pot. I don't think he didn't mean to stir it that much, but I have to address this because I do feel like people tend to like think this way, and it's the wrong way of thinking, especially if you're trying to like start something from scratch. We had like an average of like 35 viewers in this room while we were doing this.
Someone was talking shit that no one was in here.
Yeah. And I think he was just calling it out just for like he wished that we had more.
Oh.
And everybody was like making excuses for us, like supporting us or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that it even is called out just explains to me like how people just quit doing something so early instead of trying to build something for a long time. And it doesn't happen immediately.
That's real. That's why people jump into
Like-
360 deals.
Yeah, sometimes this shit like, dude, it takes years. Like years.
Well, yeah, I mean,
And yeah, we're only on episode 54.
Right.
So,
well, whatever. The bottom line is we've talked about this a lot of times on our
and I'm not just to clarify, I'm not making excuses for us or anything like this. This podcast might suck. I have no idea, but I'm willing to see it to the end because I
like
believe
doing
in
the
it.
podcast in general.
Yeah, and I like doing it with my friends and like
Right.
blah blah blah. And this
All right.
wasn't really meant to like make money or anything right off the bat, but it's just something that we can do just to see where it goes.
No, there's definitely
And
a
it's
good.
but just to finish my
Yeah.
thought, that's where we were with music, dude. And that people forget is, dude, in 2009, I never thought I'd be sitting here doing a podcast for my music label that I own right now.
Right.
Fuck no. I thought it'd be done in like 2 years.
Yeah.
No, I mean, dude, I have vivid memories of making songs, posting it on Facebook, getting 2 likes from you and I on the Specktators account, going and checking Bandcamp and celebrating hitting double-digit plays.
Yeah.
And that happened for a long time.
A long
Hell
time.
yeah. For sure.
And
it's the time that a lot of people didn't even know who we were. So they don't know that time even existed.
Yeah, for sure. And but it did, and
It
it
did
exists,
happen.
and it exists for most people that start anything themselves,
For sure.
and that shit develops into something. Like that's just how it goes, and that is one of the things that separates people that end up doing something with their craft and people that don't, is just stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the biggest factors of it all. And yeah, I do think that's something that people lose sight of, and it's really easy to do something for a little bit and then be like, man, this isn't getting me the likes. This isn't getting me the whatever.
Well, that's why, what reasons are you doing? Are you getting into it for?
Yeah.
Are you doing it because you enjoy it? Because if you're doing it because you like it and you believe that you're good at it, then you fight through some of that shit at the beginning.
A lot of that shit.
A lot, yeah. I mean, for years or however long it takes. If you're doing it to try and make like a quick buck or whatever, you're probably not going to stick with it for very long, because unless you're one of these people that puts out a song and it just happens to blow up, which seems like happens a lot, which is very rare.
Well, that's
it's very rare.
That's the problem, though, is like people are like, well, this YouTuber has only been on for 6 months and they have over 1 million.
Yeah.
I could.
Yeah,
You know
and
what
bro,
I'm saying?
and all you see is these people that you really like that are popular, and you see these numbers and stuff. Yo, you try and go sit down and talk for 2 hours and have 30 people listen to you live. Like set aside those live hour and a half or whatever to listen to. Like, I look at that as dope as shit.
People take time for granted.
Yeah, like dude, I'm appreciative of the 30 people in
time. Like that's people taking the time out of their life to just spend it with you. Like that's dope. It doesn't, even if it's one person.
And then we come at it too from an angle of, we do music, we're artists, that we have fans and stuff like that, and like we're gonna go hop on the sticks after this, and there might be 15 people in there joining us, but that's cool, because why did we start it? To talk to the fans, and like have just something else for them to do. That like, I don't get to go tour in Australia, I don't get to tour in the damn United States, dude, like real talk. But I definitely don't get to really get around the world, and we have fans everywhere, and that's a way that I can interact with some of them. And fuck it, dude, if there's 2 people checking that shit out.
We played a dude from Ireland.
Yeah, I was just
like that's a good thing to point out. And yeah, it's a good lesson to learn for independent shit, entrepreneurial shit. And yeah, like dude, you hear this a lot. Like if you watch Shark Tank and you look at entrepreneurial stuff, people that end up doing one dope thing too probably had 20 other things that didn't work. So I'm not even saying like, oh dude, we stick with this long enough, it's gonna pop. Maybe it will, maybe it won't, but it never will if you don't try.
Right. And it takes a long time. That was kind of my only point, is it's just like, dude, I see it all over the place, and it's like, man, people don't stick with stuff for long enough to even see this.
And a lot of times it is a random thing. It isn't just like stick with it long enough and it'll steadily grow. A lot of times it's stick with it, nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, boom, oh, something. And then you have all this for them to look at. Like if you just had one episode and had these eyes on you, they'd be like, oh, well, this is nothing, they just started, whatever. But if, oh, they've been doing this and I actually like it, they're pretty good. Well, all of a sudden you have a resume that you didn't even realize you were building.
And or the just life experience of that. You're more ready for the moment once it arrives. That you've been grinding. I was literally talking to Apollo about this shit just the other day. And it was just funny because he asked how I met you guys and things like that. And bringing up Moe-T rapping and the Spark Notes. And like, it's like, this shit is crazy because Mo is like the perfect example. Mo is like the freaking white Jesus, computer Jesus. Like he was the first one that I knew of that was like doing it like his own thing
and doing it well.
Scheming.
But yeah, and like even roles developed and different things happen over time. Like you never know. You just start doing shit, man. Like there've been so many little things that have popped up throughout our career doing this that never would have happened if we didn't do this. Friends I met, opportunities that are like came up, and it doesn't happen in nobody just starts this shit. Rarely do people start this shit and all of a sudden in the first year opportunities just start pouring in. Like it just doesn't work that way.
And it's just fun, dude. Like that, I guess that was my only thing, is it's like I wanted to bring it up not from our perspective, but just like, Dude, people just need to remember, like, if you're doing something and you like doing it, just keep doing it consistently, and who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then if it gets not fun and something isn't coming of it,
Right.
and you just don't want to do it,
Right.
then fine, that's your thing. But
And don't base your fun off of other people's accolades.
That's
Like,
a
do it
big
because
thing.
you want to do
that's
it.
the
Exactly.
era. That's the era we're in, though,
huge.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just posted this picture and it didn't get enough likes, so I'm gonna take it down. Bro, did you like the picture?
Right.
Then,
Exactly.
Right.
like, who
Dude,
gives
that's
a
the
shit?
same shit. That's perfect on my Instagram. Like, yeah, I post these videos of training and stuff, and it's not to get likes. I mean, I try and like put a good message with it, obviously, because I want people to be motivated or something by somebody that, you know, has different things going on with their leg and whatever. Like, yeah, do it. Get out there and do it. But like, I just like to go back and see what I was doing last year at this time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like keeping a log in my notebook of shit.
Right.
Except I just put it on there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and bro,
It's just-
that speaks to
And I like to fucking do it.
that speaks to what I said though. Is bro, you never know when some fitness person is gonna come across your page randomly and I'm not even saying this is what you're hoping to happen. I'm just saying you
That's
never
how it
know
happens.
when that happens, and all of a sudden, oh, you got this connect that wants you to come give motivational speeches or come work for them in this like area or whatever because they see what you're doing. If you don't do it because you're ashamed that it's getting 5 likes and that's not enough for you, then that person never sees your shit.
Right.
right.
Exactly.
That's real shit.
Just
man.
enjoy your shit, and if you like doing it, keep doing it.
Do it for you, man. Gosh, dang.
Yeah.
Live for yourself.
Right.
My Lord.
All right. That was episode 54. We're about to go hop on the sticks. I hope but God, if we don't get 20 people, then we're gonna hop right off.
Delete this video.
We'll see you guys there. Appreciate you tuning in.
Yup.
I did.